Hey everyone, Emily here and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be trying out another recipe that I found online, and this is another one that comes from TikTok. I've been seeing this all over my For You page for a while now, so I might be a little bit late to it, but it's the viral crispy sushi tacos. And it seems like a pretty interesting way to make something that's similar to a sushi roll. It sounds really easy and really good, so I'm curious to see how this comes out. Let's give it a try. So the base of this recipe is really similar to just a regular sushi roll. I have some cooked short grain rice right here, and I also have the little seaweed wrappers for it, the nori, that we're going to use to make the taco shells. Now I have not seen anyone actually do the mix-ins to the sushi rice to make it similar to authentic sushi, so this is by no means an authentic recipe. It's just kind of a sushi vibe, but I think it sounds really good. So I'm gonna start off by opening my package of seaweed. You can just find this at the regular grocery store. I got this at Target. And I'm going to cut, I would say, probably 2 of these sheets into circles, and that's going to be my little taco shell. So I have these 2 stacked on top of each other. And I'm just going to do my best to kind of make it into a circle. So these are kind of like the tortillas to the taco. So I have my 2 circles here, and as you look at these, you're going to notice a shiny side and kind of a flatter side. It's hard to see on the camera, but one of them will be much smoother than the other. Shiny side should be down, and we're going to put the rice right into the center and kind of spread that around a little bit. Now everyone has done a pretty thin layer of rice. This is a little sticky, so I am going to just wet my hands a little bit and kind of press this down so it doesn't stick to my fingers as much. All right, I have some wet fingers, so much easier. Everyone has been doing a pretty light amount of rice, so I'm gonna start off on the lighter side and then add more as needed. I'll move on to my second one and just kind of do the same thing. And with wet hands, press the rice into the nori. Now at this point, we're at the part where you need the air fryer. You could probably do this in the oven, or if you don't want to make it crispy, you can just leave it as is and probably move on from here. But I'm gonna pop these into the air fryer and get these nice and crispy, and they kind of hold together a little bit better as well. So I'll show you how to do it. This will probably depend on the size of your air fryer basket, but I'm gonna put a little ramekin in the middle, and that's just going to help to kind of hold these little taco shells up as they cook. So you kind of place them in there, and that's going to make them crispy and kind of hold that taco shape. So I'm going to turn up my air fryer to 400 degrees, and we're going to cook this for 10 minutes. And while that cooks, we're gonna make the filling. I've seen a ton of different versions of the filling. I've seen people using canned tuna and mixing that with some sriracha mayo to do kind of like a spicy tuna roll vibe. And I've seen people cook some salmon up as well. Everything looks really good. I'm going to do something similar to a spicy California roll. So I have my imitation crab. I got this stick style so that you can shred it. And I'm gonna start with 2 and see how that looks. But I'll just kind of shred this with a fork. Should shred really easily. And then I'm just going to pop that into a bowl, and I think that 2 should be okay. I'm gonna be adding a couple veggies to it, so I don't wanna overfill it. And then to that, I'm going to add in a little bit of sriracha mayo. Kind of mix that together. I don't like to add too much mayo. I don't like mine to be too gloopy, but you can do it however you want it. I'll set that aside, and I'm gonna move on to my avocado and cucumbers. For the avocado, I already have half of an avocado from some avocado toast I made the other day. So I'll just go ahead and remove the pits, kind of get the dingy layer off the top. This is only 1 day old, but it's crazy how quickly they turn brown. And then I'm just going to make some slices through just going really lightly so you don't go through the skin. And I'll go the opposite direction and get some nice cubes. And then you just take a large spoon, go right around the edge, and that is an easy way to get some nice clean cubes out of an avocado. I'm also going to add some cucumbers. I have a few mini cucumbers here, probably, let's start with 3. And I'm going to slice these up pretty thinly. And then just go right across. And then we'll get some nice little strips. And looking at this, I think 2 of the mini cucumbers is probably enough. And now we just have to wait for the little taco shells to come out of the air fryer, and we're gonna be ready to put this together. I'm excited to give it a try. My timer just went off for the little taco shells we had going, and here's how they're looking. They look pretty crispy to me, so I'm gonna take them out and see how solid they are. Okay, so first thing I'm noticing is that these little taco shells are pretty stuck to the ramekin. Nobody warned me that you need to spray the ramekin. I had no idea that the seaweed would be sticky like that. So be warned, we might have to do a take 2 on the shells if they break apart, but I'm gonna try and save them. So let's see if we can get these out. Okay, they have come out of the air fryer. The ramekin is still super hot. So I'm gonna give this a few minutes to try and cool off. The shells themselves seem really solid, really crunchy. So I'm happy with that. Once this cools off, I'm gonna see if I can pry it off of the ramekin. Fingers crossed, because I don't wanna have to redo it, but we'll see. Good news, I was able to get these off of the ramekin. I would definitely give this a spray with cooking oil before putting them in there, just to prevent any sticking. It ended up coming off pretty well, but it was a close call. So now that these are all done and standing up really nice all by themselves, I'm really impressed with the structure of that. I'm going to start filling my tacos. So I'm going to start with my crab mixture. Then I will add in my little cucumber slices. And my avocado can go right on top of that. And then to kind of finish everything off, I am going to sprinkle that with some sesame seeds. These are looking absolutely fantastic. This is what they're kind of looking like up close. I'll get you a better view of everything, but they look like they're gonna be really good. And honestly, I'm excited to give these a try. Have a little bit of soy sauce here. So I'll give it just a little dip, and let's take a bite. Obviously, just based off of the components, the flavor is really similar to a California roll, and you could really customize this to however you want to make it, so you can get really creative with whatever you have going for the fillings. And I think that I'm going to definitely be making these again. These are really good. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell icon so you can get notified every time I post. As always, you can find the full recipe to this video down in the description box below, along with links to all my social media pages. You can follow along for more cooking content. Hope to see you back here next time.